What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA playoffs, Thursday, May 30th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we're back with the first game of the NBA Finals. We have the Golden State Warriors versus the Toronto Raptors, and they're playing in Toronto tonight. So at the top, I like Kawhi Leonard from the Toronto Raptors playing the Golden State Warriors. Kawhi Leonard has scored 66, 63, and 41 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 45.3 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 34 minutes per game with a 31% usage rate. Kawhi Leonard's projected at 48.8 fantasy points here tonight, just a point or two under Stephen Curry, but I think Kawhi Leonard's going to have the advantage here at home. He's played 41 and 40 minutes the last 2 games, and he had a 41% usage rate last game. I think Kawhi scores over 50 fantasy points, so I like Kawhi Leonard here versus the Golden State Warriors. So our DFS tools for MLB Baseball are now live and working. You can click on the MLB tab to change sports and check the tools out for baseball. They're really helpful. They're going to save you guys a ton of research time. Remember, we added projected ownership, and that will be updating throughout the day as injury news changes. We also added the fantasy points per minute stat here for each player, and we also added a stat that's new to the industry. We call it the hit percentage, and it's the percent chance this player has to hit value at his current DFS salary. And you can access all these new stats even on mobile devices by tapping the dash rank icon. So the other stud I'm going to touch on real quick on the Golden State Warriors side, of course, it's Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry has scored 77, 49, and 58 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 46.4 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 34 minutes per game with a 31% usage rate. Stephen Curry has played 47, 37, and 38 minutes in the last 3 games, averaging 40 minutes, averaging 35% usage rate. I don't think you'll be able to fit Kawhi Leonard and Stephen Curry in most of your lineups, so I'm going to build one with Kawhi and one with Stephen Curry. These are the 2 guys that got the 50-plus point upside. One of them is going to get you there, so I like Stephen Curry here versus the Toronto Raptors. Okay, moving way down in salary now. This is one of my favorite mid-range players and maybe my favorite play of the slate. I like Marc Gasol from the Toronto Raptors playing the Golden State Warriors. Marc Gasol has scored 18, 14, and 41 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 34.4 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 31 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. So Marc Gasol has had a couple rough games. His ownership's down. It's projected at 46% tonight, which is pretty low for a single game slate. Marc Gasol is projected to score 30.4 fantasy points tonight, so he's going to be a great value play, and he's got monster upside in this matchup. Marc Gasol has scored 34, 33, 41, 43, and 60 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Golden State Warriors. So you're getting a discount on the price because he's had a bad couple of games. His ownership is going to be low, and he's got one of the best player versus team history on the slate. Consistent production in the last 5 games versus Golden State Warriors. I'll take those numbers all day long. So I love Marc Gasol here versus the Golden State Warriors. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, so the next two guys are in the upper salary range, but you're gonna have to pick between one of these guys. I like Pascal Siakam and Klay Thompson. Both these guys are around the same price. They're going to be playing about the same minutes, and they have the same upside. Both these guys can get you 40 plus fantasy points. They're both projected at 36.5 fantasy points here tonight. One of these guys is going to go off and crush value. So I would say if you play Kawhi Leonard, I would put Klay Thompson in your lineup. And if you play Stephen Curry, I'd put Pascal Siakam in your lineup. So I like Pascal Siakam and Klay Thompson, just depending on which one's going to fit best into your lineup. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, moving down to the low salary players. I like Norman Powell from the Toronto Raptors. Norman Powell has scored 14, 15, and 31 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 15.5 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 19 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. Norman Powell is projected at 15.7 fantasy points here tonight, but I'm looking for about 20 fantasy points. He's played 16, 23, and 32 minutes in the last 3 games. So we can't be sure how many minutes he's going to get tonight, but he's a low salary player that doesn't need much to get you there. So I like Norman Powell here versus the Golden State Warriors. And on the Warriors side for a low to mid-range salary player, I like Kevon Looney. He scored 35, 15, and 30 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs. He's played 29, 27, and 29 minutes the last 3 games. He only has between a 10 and 12% usage rate, but he's been scoring near a fantasy point per minute. His minutes are solidified with no Kevin Durant, projected at 25.4 fantasy points here tonight. He's been a consistent producer, so I like Kevon Looney here versus the Toronto Raptors. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.